Yo, guys, what's up? What is up? Good morning, good morning. I think I'm going to try this on a live account. Looks really good to me. We have equal highs above. Gonna trade this with a full size on this funded account. I'm gonna be aiming. Oh, this is MN. This is NQ. I need MNQ, guys. Hold on one second. 5. So if we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap, it looks too good for me not to take. We do have, oh, we swept hourly sell side. So we do have sell side below, guys, but this is still something I would take 10 out of 10 times if we got the close above. My stop to break even would be at this high, and I'm targeting the equal highs on NQ. So I'm telling you guys right now, it's likely that if we inverse this 1 minute, this high is coming. And then a lot of the times what they'll do, guys, when we have these huge red days and they leave a wick at the top, this ends up being a target. But we also have perfect equal highs right up here on NQ. If you guys look, I know it's not, you don't see them on MNQ, but on NQ they are here. So I'm going to be paying attention to those. We do have, again, we do have sell side below. Okay, I will not deny the fact that we are acting very bearishly here, and we do have sell side liquidity right over here. Just gonna label them in red. But we are also trading within. Let me see if there's any bullish fair value gaps here on the 15. I like to use those sometimes. There is this inverse fair value gap that's come all the way down that we're trading into technically. But I do think that we are probably going to inverse from here. Yes, Kay, I'm all good, bro. Thank you for asking. All good, guys. I know there was fires here, but I am all good. So if I was to buy here and I basically held the TP all the way up, we're looking at a $1,600 trade. Stop loss would be 150 bucks. Not too bad, give or take. I'm willing to take this and max risks on the day because I love this setup. It's going to happen way too many times not to take it. We do have a 2 minute and a 3 minute as well, and all of them should inverse at the same time if the 1 minute does inverse here. So I will be taking this, guys. We have sell side liquidity. They got swept. Perfect 1 minute fair value gap. Yes, we do have sell side below, guys, but at minimum, I think this high is going to hit. So what I will do is take one contract off here, and I'll sell the other two up here. But I have a strong feeling this is going to be an upside move today. Okay, so there is the entry right there. So I'm going to enter the trade right there, guys. Stop loss is going to be a close back below in the 1 minute. If I get stopped out on this trade, guys, I'm totally fine with it. Again, my stop to break even will come probably at this high right here. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But it's going to be a close back below on the... Technically, we didn't get the 3 minute yet, but should be a close back below on the 1 or the 2 minute, whichever you prefer. So we'll see what happens here, guys. If I get stopped out, okay, so it was a max loss on this funded account. So that is ridiculous, but I'm happy to take that 10 out of 10 times, guys. It was almost perfect with a 1 minute fair value gap here. So the fact that this just happened, either we're super bearish on the day or we're going to get another setup later. So that funded account is not doing well, unfortunately, but that was an A+ setup. So it looks like we are going to be driving down, I mean, either to this sell side again and then to get the long. But I'm telling you guys right now, I would have taken this 10 out of 10 times. I do not regret taking this, even though it was on the 1 minute chart. I know that we had the 2 minute that actually closed above. The 3 minute did not. Actually, and the 3 minute did too. So this is definitely an A+ setup, guys. I'm sorry if you took that and you lost, but part of trading is losing. This was A+ to me. It was perfect. I would take this 10 out of 10 times. So again, either this failed because we are delivering further to the downside, or they're trying to do another manipulation sweep. I don't know, but that looked so good, so good. And that's part of having a good model, guys, is that you don't really have regrets after taking a trade. If you know that you're going to take something 10 out of 10 times, then you take it. And if it loses, you don't really have FOMO, or you're not really upset because you know that most of the time that model works. Okay, so I have my one trade on the day on that account. It was a max loss, right? $200 for that account. So now I'm going to go over to one of my evals. This one is the 300K eval that I'm up 8,000 on. So I'm trying to get this to 320. I have zero drawdown on this because my first trade on this account was an $8,000 win with little drawdowns. I basically have like maybe a few $100s of drawdown, or $1,000 max. And it's a $6,000, $6,500 drawdown account, I think. So, but yeah, that sucked. This literally, I'm telling you guys, this 1 minute inverse, we swept liquidity to the downside. We had 2 sweeps of liquidity here. We have equal highs above, up here on NQ. Yeah, sucks that it failed, but I know that setup works way more often than it doesn't, and so I'm willing to take that L. Let me change this to green. I still have faith in the longs today, but I don't like that happened. I bet you a lot of IFEG traders took this today and got smoked. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens at this hourly sell side. Okay, you guys can see this is that last sell side. So here's one thing I will note, guys, okay? If we trade below this low and we just completely collapse, okay? That to me is gonna signify that we have a change in market structure shift. It's like a market structure shift that changes the state of delivery, right? We were making higher highs and now we are making lower lows. If we don't sweep this and immediately react bullishly, then I fear that the beginning of 2025 and just 2025 in general is probably not going to be as bullish as people think. But we're going to be very careful and watch the reaction. If we end up sweeping the low, we're going to be careful and watch the reaction. Excuse me, sorry guys. It's super windy here and there's fires and I think my allergies are acting up. But if and when this low is swept, we're going to see what reaction we get. And again, ultimately, I do think these highs are coming. Maybe today, maybe towards the beginning of next week. But it looks pretty likely that they're delivering this down to manipulate traders short and to then deliver us higher. I did sell some puts on end phase, and these are probably going to get filled. Finally, I might get filled on a position on end phase. I sold the 67 puts. We are filling this volume imbalance, so maybe this is where we have our bottom and we continue higher. I don't know yet. My stop loss on this trade is going to be a monthly close back below 58, so we'll see what happens with that. Take profits are going to be all the way up here at 156 and 245, or give or take. But anyways. Ooh, Tesla's getting a sell-off too. 389, okay. Alright, so guys, basically we're just going to be patient now. If you guys want to try something else, I still think this looks great as well. There's this 1 minute inverse, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, I would take this because the 3 minute has inverse to the upside. Okay, you can see here the low to the high, this body of this candle closed above the fair value gap. So to me, that is an A plus long setup. Everything is rebalanced. So if this 1 minute if we get this this 1 minute setup, even before this low gets swept, I'll still take this to the upside. But again, guys, we'll just have to see what we get. Anybody take any trades? So, guys, I did alert this in the Discord. Um, Last night we had a really nice hourly FEG right here. Okay, I took this long. I alerted in the Discord that my stop to break even. So I'll post it. I'll show you guys right now. What's it? Nike's crossing 69.08. Okay, so I'm adding more Nike to my position right now, guys, by the way. But if you go to my live alert section, you can see last night. Was it under the live alerts or was it under announcements? Okay, it was under announcements. So I was in the hourly FEG. Okay, this was the hourly FEG. I was on my phone, so I didn't really draw it out. But for those of you guys who trade them, know what they are. And I said that my stop to break even was going to be the wick above midnight, which was this wick right here. And then if you see what happened, we had the hourly FEG happen. This was my entry right here, and my stop loss was this wick. And you can see that we did get the wick, and I got stopped at break even. Again, break even trades happen, but it was a really good setup. Okay, you took it. Let's go, bro. Okay, so 1 minute is still consolidating in this general area, and I think again, if we get this sweep and then we get the inverse, guys, I'm taking it again for sure. And I'll take it on a full size account. Let me look at Nike quick while we're waiting, because that looks pretty good. It's just giving me alerts to add more to my position. Let me go to the weekly again real quick. Hold on, guys. Or the daily. Okay, so I just added at 71. That was where my alert was. Why am I getting a 69 alert on Nike then? Okay, I think my trading view was glitching. I also added some AMD, guys. Hold on 1 second while I get AMD in the charts. So AMD is finally trading into my this like weekly and monthly fair value gap. So we have two tiny monthly fair value gap here, and I'm adding more to my position in this general area. And I think that eventually AMD is going to have a great future, but for now we are trading into unfilled fair value gaps that we should be able to use to take higher. But anyways. So now we're just going to be patient, guys, and see. Whatever happens here, I'll take. If we sweep, so if we sweep this low, then we get the bullish reaction, I'll take it to the upside. If we don't sweep the low and we immediately get it, I'll still take something here, for example. And I will anticipate these equal highs to hit. So we'll see which one we get, but either one looks great to me. Again, guys, sometimes models fail. This was A+, in my opinion, and it just failed, so it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I will take A+ setups 10 out of 10 times, and if they fail, and I just continue. And I know that over time it's going to be a profitable system, so... By the way, I forgot to put my light on. Oh, and my mic is not... Oh, my mic is connected, but you guys can probably not hear me so well. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, guys, I'm just so focused on the charts, I didn't even realize. You guys can hear me better now, I'm guessing? By the way, guys, if you're in the stream, make sure you give it a like. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If we're like really waiting for a trade to happen and it's like close to happening, then don't ask. But at times like this, you know, we're waiting for one of two things to happen, either a liquidity sweep or an inverse fair value gap. You guys can ask away. But this looks really good to me, guys, still. But we'll see what happens. Would love to ideally see this low get swept and then get the long. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Mic was okay all along. Good. Because my mic was all the way down near my monitors. But I'm hoping it's better now. It's probably a little... seems pretty sensitive, but... yeah, we should be good. But yeah, guys, if we get this entry again, this was AA plus. I would take it 10 out of 10 times, okay? But, wow. So there are helicopters flying above my house right now because there's a huge fire in LA. This fire is actually in Woodland Hills. It's called the Kenneth Fire, and or that's what they're calling it. But you can see those like these massive dual blade helicopters. I had to reduce the volume after you readjusted it. It's at the lowest setting too, which is wild. It's pretty sensitive. So guys, this is what the position will look like. If we inverse this, stop to break even at this high, or this one if you prefer, because there is a chance that we come down, manipulate, and then go higher. But the targets will be all the way up here. I will move my stop to break even personally at this high. And just let the trade completely run all the way. I'll probably take a partial off at the mean threshold of this gap. So like right here, I'll take a partial. So let me readjust this, guys, so you guys have it. It's gonna look something like this. Trade entry 1, and then TP2 will be this set of equal highs right here. If you guys want, you can take one partial off at the high here, and then your secondary TP at these equal highs. I know it almost sounds unbelievable that this is going to happen today, but I've seen this happen time after time after time, so we will see what we get. If you fall, I will catch you. I would be waiting. Okay, so we almost touched the low. Just by a wick, we missed it. Gonna move these out of the way. Also, guys, if we get a 1-minute inverse in here, you guys can try it early. Stop to break even at this high and just anticipate it to go. But yeah, let's see if we get the longs, guys. We might not. This might truly be bearish. Again, like I said, we have to see what the reaction is that we get from this low. Okay, guys, I gotta put all my things back on my chart. See where the new week opening gaps are. Oh. Interesting. No, actually, no. I would be fine. I was just noting that this new week opening gap could have been what drove us down here, but if I draw it out here on the 1 minute, was it here? Yeah, this was the new week opening gap. Yeah, there's no reason that this should have happened. I was wrong about the bias. That's the only way that this would have happened. That this short would have been smoked, or the long would have been smoked. Sorry. So guys, now that we've had this sell side liquidity swept, if I don't see an immediate bullish reaction here, I'm going to be very hesitant about what happens in the future as far as longs are concerned. Hold on 1 second. Let me exit out of some stuff here. Okay, so we are in a macro time as well. You guys can see we're in this 950 macro. So if you guys don't have macros on your charts, if you're new to the stream, type this in on your trading view, ICT macros, and screenshot these macros right here. These are the best macros in the market that I am aware of, but they typically deliver price to where it needs to go. So it's like a kind of like a computerized time in the markets where the algorithms spool price in one direction or another. So you typically see the most movement in the markets at these times. I'm going to pull up the daily chart. Yeah, the daily does not look good to me, guys, now that we have completely obliterated this low. And so far, no bullish reactions. But if we get a 1 minute inverse here, for example, guys, I think this will be another great A+ trade. But so far, it does not look promising. Now, the last thing that I would expect potentially, so we do have some new week opening gaps around this general zone right over here. So I'll actually label them, and I'll draw this out in time. So sometimes what happens, guys, I'll put it on the hourly so you can see it. Oh, so I'm way off. So sometimes, like, I don't know why it happens this way, but it'll show the new week opening gaps on higher time frames, but it will not show them on the lower time frames. So I have to actually manually put them on to see them on like the 1 minute chart, for example. So the only other thing I can see happening here, guys, is we sweep these new week opening gaps and get some kind of a reversal within them or right above them or right below them. That's what I'm expecting to potentially happen here. Now, I'm not going to take a trade just because, but that's what I see potentially happening here. You guys see what the beautiful part about my system is? That you don't really have to predict anything. You can anticipate what you think is going to happen, but you only enter your trades after confirmation. Like, for example, guys, I mean, this 1 minute long looked great as well. And you can see that we entered into the fair value gap and then we rejected. This 1 minute short looked pretty good, but again, I would never take that because we have equal highs above. So yeah, sometimes this works, but most of the time it doesn't. But yeah, that was definitely surprising that this failed. It doesn't often fail. Really want to add more Nike here too, guys. Have to decide if I want to add some right now or if I want to add some later. But this is definitely the spot. If you guys are looking to add Nike, you can see that we are in this monthly gap. Or is it a 3-month gap? Or is it a weekly? Am I in the logarithmic chart here? Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I didn't like the adjusted, but you can see this monthly fair value gap right here. We have this wick here on Nike that I think is probably where we're rebalancing somewhere in this, the mean threshold of this wick. So this general area looks really good to long, but anyways. Okay, so no longs yet. There is another level of sell side that we did just sweep. Interestingly enough, I did not note that on my charts, but it is there. And you can see there is no bullish reaction from it, so I think this is probably going to drive us lower still. Again, that does not mean I'm entering a trade, but yeah. We have 2 gaps on US 30. That's good to know, Gear Grind. I don't use US 30. I never have. I never will. I believe that NQ and ES are the only two that you need. Why is my chart lagging out like this? Super interesting. It's like stuck. Oh, there we go. Let me look at Tesla on the day. So Tesla's doing the exact same thing as NQ and ES, guys. We swept this buy side, and now we're rejecting. Now, again, I still believe there is a possibility we can have a full-blown retracement. We're in a very tough spot in the market, and I'll tell you guys why. So the Fed and Donald Trump are kind of going to be in a war. When he gets elected, he is going to be pushing the Fed to lower interest rates. But the Fed doesn't necessarily want to lower interest rates because of the fact that inflation is sticky and they don't want inflation to increase and they don't want to cause a recession. So it's kind of like a tough battle that they're fighting between each other. But also we have all these very bullish stocks that are technically in the age of AI. Like we have NVIDIA, AMD, we have Tesla. And it's just a very tough situation because we have all these super bullish stocks that want to run, but we're basically have a lot of recessionary fears, and we have a Fed trying to hold rates higher, and we have Donald Trump trying to stimulate the economy and lower rates. So it's a whole mix of different things. I think it's going to cause a lot of volatility in the markets. Now, again, I do believe there's an algorithm, and I think that that's also going to drive the market one way or another. But yeah, I mean, economic policy still matters, and we'll see what happens. But it's a very interesting time to be in the markets for sure. So AMD is filling this gap still, guys. I'm going to put an alert at the bottom of the fair value gap. I'm going to add more at 111, and that's going to be my final add personally. If we go lower, great. That's fine with me, but my final adds are going to be around 111 for this stock. Gear Grind, you guys also can't trade NQ, right? It isn't. I remember I have one of my Discord members is from Uganda, and he told me that he can't trade NQ. So they use alternatives like US 30. So guys, watch my guess again. I think that this is probably going to go down to the new week opening gap. Once we get here, watch how we behave. So again, I don't like the fact that we are just dumping below the sell side. This was kind of like, this was what was going to be responsible for us creating our new buy program and creating higher highs. So the fact that we missed it, not great. Okay, the fact that we swept below it and we completely have a lack of displacement is not great in my opinion. The next level of sell side liquidity is right down here. Why is it not appearing on the chart now? Or is it way lower? No? Oh, because I'm on MNQ. Sorry, guys. So the next low is down here. So we could easily get there too. Don't get me wrong, but we'll have to see what happens, guys. We'll be very patient today, but I am still going to be looking for long setups. I'm not going to short when we're down here, but when we're down in this area, but I'm still looking for a setup today. Gear Grind, yeah, on my charts it's called NDX 100. I see. Yeah, so it's like an alternative. I don't know why they do that, but yeah. Yeah, so it is possible, guys, that we are going down to this low. I told you guys that the markets like to go from buy-side liquidity to sell-side liquidity. So in this case, we are delivering downside sweep. So everyone that's been long in this whole leg. So first of all, another good thing you guys might want to draw here is the 50% of the leg. So from high to low, 50% is down here, and we have sell-side liquidity down here. So I would not be surprised, guys, if we get a huge dump today all the way down to this 50% level and the sell-side liquidity, balance the new week opening gaps, and then we get a long setup from within this range. It's definitely possible. Do I want to find shorts from here? No. Do I think that shorts will probably work from here? Yes. My guess is maybe we come back and balance this 1 minute fair value gap and then we get a dump. But again, am I going to take a trade based off of that? No. But it's always good to anticipate and note these things. Let me take a look at TLT quick, guys. So TLT is the bond setup that I've been trying to add in bigger size because I believe that TLT will have a very bullish 2025, hopefully. Again, when the Fed starts to cut rates, if and when they do, with the pressure from Trump, I think that bond prices are going to start to rocket as bond yields drop. This chart tracks 20-year bond prices. So we should see a big move on TLT eventually. We're trading into a monthly fair value gap. We do have another set of sell-side liquidity right here that I would not be surprised to take. But yeah, I think this is going to have a great future, but we'll see. Also on our QQQ chart, I know you guys don't use this. It's one of my own models, but we do have a quarterly high that we are potentially retesting here that we have not retested since November 27th, where we had a very bullish reaction. So we'll see what happens at this point in time. Damn, there's something stuck in my eye. Okay, so we do have a 2-minute fair value gap right here. Again, guys, I'm not going to take this personally. If you want to, you can try it. I don't think it's A+ because we have sell-side liquidity below. And this is a very bearish reaction from this low, so I'm not expecting to get a retracement just yet. What I'm expecting to happen again, guys, is something within this new week opening gap. We have a smaller one. Well, let me pull up NQ. Hold on one second. We have, do we not have this on either? Yeah, we do. We have a very small one as well right below sell side at the mean threshold. So maybe we get a touch of this new week opening gap and then we get the longs, but I'm not so convinced that this is going to be where we're going to bottom. Now, is it possible that we inverse this 2-minute, we come back up to balance this, and then we go down? Yes. But I'm not going to take this anymore. After this A+ 1-minute IFEG failed earlier, I'm not going to be taking another one just yet. I want to see more liquidity get swept to the downside. Also, if we're bullish, if we're bearish, guys, here, this fair value gap on the 3-minute should behave like this should be the topping, and we should go down further. Can we come back and rebalance this? Yes. Am I in the business of calling tops and bottoms? No. But if I see something A+, I will obviously tell you guys. We have another 2 minutes, so we could come up and balance the 2 fully and then reject. We could come up into this 2-minute and then reject. I don't know yet. Excuse me. Oh, we do have a tiny 5-minute here. Let me see. When does this close? 10:20. So we got 3 minutes left. Bro, why do all my alerts come up here when I want to look at the time? Okay, give me a second, guys, while I delete all these. All right. So we got 2 minutes until this closes. This looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I think this new week opening gap is going to get balanced. So I'm not gonna take this personally. But if you guys want to, at 10:20, you can try this. Stop to break even at this high and just hold it potentially if this ends up being the low, but I doubt it. What do you guys think? Should we try this with a stop below the 5 minute on an eval? Oh, I'm on MNQ again. Hold on, let me go to NQ, guys, because I'm on a funded here. I mean a 300K eval. I always mix that up. Guys, I changed my mind. I actually like this. But if this internal high hits first, I'm not gonna be able to take it. And yes, K is right. We might get like a 50% retracement of this leg, but you can see that it's already close. If this sweeps this internal high before the 5 minute close, I don't like it as much. But we'll see if we even get the close above. We got just a few seconds. Guys, I'm going to take this. I know it's risky, but I like it. So we'll see what happens here. But stop to break even when this high hits. So I'll be very quick to move my stop if I'm lucky enough to get it. But we took sell side liquidity. We're inversing a 5. It's not bad. So we'll see what happens. Up 800 on this account so far. Again, guys, it's going to be not a hard stop. I'm going to wait for a 5 minute close. But actually, I am going to make this a hard stop. I'm going to make my stop like around here at this wick. Because if we are truly bearish here, this is just going to completely get smoked and it's going to dump on me. But I do like the fact that we swept sell side liquidity on the high time frames. We are now getting a bullish reaction on the 5 minute. We inversed to 5, so I don't think it's bad. And stopped to break even once that high hits. So, all right, so my stop is at break even. If I lose the trade, I lose the trade. I don't care. But hopefully this drives us a lot higher. Because I just don't want to get wrecked if we are bearish here and just completely get this account smoked. Now, for me, I am going to take my profits at this internal high right here, or maybe at the body of this candle if I get it. I'm not going to hold a 50%, but I'm basically looking for a home run here. Well, I also have a really small drawdown on this account, guys. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of one up here. Then maybe I'll get rid of one up here, and then I'll sell the third up here. If I get lucky, guys. If not, it's fine, but we'll see what happens. Wait, what just happened? 2973 flat. Oh, hold on. To edit this. 937 36.75. Okay, so I'm putting my stop loss right below. So I think at minimum, guys, here, I'm going to move one sell limit there, and then I'll just leave the rest. I have to be able to access this to change this to 2 contracts. Okay, so there's one order filled. That was beautiful. I will move my stop, guys, on this trade now to below this body because I don't want to get complete drawdown on this account. But we will see what happens from here. This might be the bottom on the day. It's possible it's the bottom. I'm not going to say that right now, but we did get the 5-minute inverse. It looks really good. I'm actually going to, guys, I'm going to sell one up here, and I'm just going to hold the rest just in case we get a complete reversal on the day here. So, I thought I changed this to 1 unit. Okay, so now we just get to appreciate what happens here, study the market. It's a free trade. I could care less what happens from here, guys. If we're going to reject, I'm going to assume that we're going to reject somewhere around here. But again, I have my stop here, so if that happens, fine. But I do like the way this is setting up for a potential full reversal on the day. Like, I'm not even kidding, guys. I think it's possible that we go all the way back up here today. All the way. Am I going to take that for sure? No, but I think it's definitely possible. So I don't really want to see retracements here. I want to see a complete lack of like a lack of. I don't want to see any weakness in this fair value gap. But yeah, if we're going to reject, guys, it's probably going to be from here. If you look on the QQQ charts, we have a weekly level at 506 and we're rejecting perfectly from it. Now, does that mean it's going to reject? No, but if we are going to reject from here, I'm guessing it's going to be from here. We're going to dump all the way down to the quarterly low or the quarterly high, and then maybe we get the longs later. I don't know, but we'll see. I think I'm going to move my stop a little bit higher because, again, guys, I don't want much drawdown on this account, but I'm going to allow for us to trade into this 1 minute fair value gap and then go higher. What is going on? Okay, give me 1 second, guys, because I obviously have this login in another account and I need to get rid of it. All right, just exited out, so I shouldn't get that connectivity issue. So are you guys learning from this? Did you guys see what my thought process was behind the 5 minute, why I changed my bias intraday? Okay, so if we get this 1 minute candle to close above this order block here, for creating an order block, then I will move my stop below this candle's low. Because again, guys, if I was in a cash account, I would be a little bit more hesitant about moving my stop up. But because this is a funded account, I'm going to be a lot more hesitant about leaving runners because I don't want drawdown. Especially this is a 300K account, so I only get $6,500 worth of drawdown, and I have to make 20,000. So you have to be super cautious. So we're about to get the 1 minute close. Let's see if we do. Beautiful move so far. Yeah, so you guys see here, I took 2 trades on the day. Again, I did take this on a cash account, by the way, guys, but I'm not going to show you guys all the accounts I'm taking live. But the funded account I took, I lost, what, 200, like maybe $180 or $200. That's my max loss. And I'm already up 2,500 on this 300K account. So, again, this is eval, but I have cash accounts that I took this on. So our longs much outweigh the losses. It's a free trade now. Even if this gets stopped, my profits on the day are going to be significantly higher than my losses. Because I know how to let runners run. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm assuming that's Arabic, but what's up, bro? If you guys are new here, let me know what to call you guys, especially if your name is in a different language. But yeah, guys, I will leave, again, my first TP will be at this high right here, and then I will leave runners all the way up to buy side. Because if we're going to reverse on the day, guys, this is the spot. If this 5-minute inverses as well, oh, this is going to be crazy. Now, I will still take, so if I was in a cash account, which I am, and this 5-minute inverse, my stop loss would still be down here, because if we are truly bullish today and this inverses, we are going to go all the way up to buy side and we're going to go all the way back up here today. Like, this could be a full reversal right now. I'm telling you guys right now, this could be a reversal complete on the day, take out this buy side and then go higher. Like, this could have been a complete fake out to everybody who now thinks that the market is going to be bearish. Look at this wick. Like, this is crazy. Like, I have half the mind not to take profits here, but I have to because this is a funded that needs super tight stops. But I'm telling you guys, this is going to go all the way up most likely. Did anybody take this long with me on the 5-minute? Called live on a live account. So guys, 1 L and 1 win. And you guys can see that the win is much higher than the L. I will move my stop probably below the order block now. Because if we are bullish now, and this is now a change in structure, this will be a change in market structure. And we should just go much higher, so we'll see. Again, guys, I have to move my stops because of the trailing drawdown on these accounts, but if you're in a cash account, I wouldn't move my stop here, which I am not going to do on my cash accounts, only on my funded, on my evals, because I have trailing drawdown on these. And it's not like a regular eval account where, like, on a 50K you can lose 2,500 and you can to make 3,000. I have to lose 6,500 to make 20,000. So I really have to be taking profits on this. So again, what could happen here, guys, is we could trade down below the order block, trade into this fair value gap, and I can get stopped. But we'll see what happens. And then, of course, if this hits, I will have to move this to a 1 unit. So nobody took this live, guys? Nobody took this long with me? Okay, very, very nice. Again, I mean, if this 5-minute gets filled, okay, guys, so we just got a 5-minute close above. I really don't even want to sell this contract here. I think I'm going to have to move it higher, guys. Okay, so I'm going to change my plan here. I'm going to move this to this buy side, and I'm just going to hold both of these. Now, what could easily happen here, guys, is we trade all the way down to the low. I think I'm going to... Gonna have to move my stop lower here. I'm not gonna do it, guys, just because of the account. I'll tell you right now, okay? I'll be honest. If I was in a cash account here, my stop would be all the way back down at my break even. I would not be taking profits here. I would be minimum first TP would be at this high. Because we just inversed a 5 minute. We should be bullish. This should be a change in market structure here. But I could be wrong, and I might get stopped out on this candle. And unfortunately, because of this account or trailing drawdown, I have to do it. But I would not be moving my stop to break even, or my stop to this level if I was in a cash account, and I am on another screen. So with that account, guys, my stop is at close to break even. I'm not moving that up because I believe this high is coming, and then I think that we're going to go much higher from there. Okay, so we're up 4,000 on this now. Zach Brooks, I took it, but I'm on a sim account learning. Up 400 though. Good job, bro. So, guys, if you don't know, my model is IFEGs. Okay, so we just balanced the 1 minute. You guys can see here. Sorry that you can't see my screen really, or my cursor, but we just balanced the 1 minute fair value gap. But I still think this is going to drive higher. So, I also am going to move my stop on this. So let me change this quick. I will sell one here, and then my stop on the secondary one, I'm going to keep it here. But basically, guys, for those of you who don't know, my model is called IFEG. I'm looking for a sweep of liquidity, and then I'm looking for a 5 minute or a 1 minute or a 3 minute candle to get inversed to the upside. This was the entry right here. You can see I basically caught the low of day. And I believe that we are probably going to come back and rebalance this high and potentially go all the way back up to this data. So there is a data candle here, okay? This is a data candle. I trade this setup almost every single 8:30 red folder news day. But when we leave a data candle like this, oftentimes they'll come up and rebalance it the same day. So there is a possibility today, guys, that we are going to go all the way back up to highs. And this came from, again, 8:30 a.m. We had red folder news in the Discord. You guys will see every single week under the economic calendar section. I call out what days we're going to have this red folder 8:30 setup. So today, Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we had non-farm employment change, and that typically drives the markets. So you can see here that this was that setup at 8:30. This is the high that formed. And everybody who's short the market today probably has their stop above this high. So what algorithms like to do is drive price up to the data highs. And that's what I think is going to happen here. Again, could I be wrong? Yes. Look at where my entry is and look where my stop losses are. So it's a completely free trade. It's house money. Do I care what happens from here? No. Am I emotional about it? No. By the way, guys, we did just form perfect equal highs right here. So that gives me even more confidence that we're going to go higher. The algorithms love to move price up to these equal highs. Will I get potentially stopped on a contract first? Yes. Do I care? No. It's just part of the game. Especially, again, on my cash accounts, guys, my stop losses are not here. I'm going to allow the market to come all the way down and balance this 5 minute. Because if I am, yeah, I do trade most mornings, Zach. I do live stream most mornings. Eventually, I am going to take the streams private, but for now, they are going to be live. Again, I'm not like a huge account. I have a pretty small following, but I am growing pretty fast. Like I got 100 subscribers this week, which is pretty crazy. For the amount of people that I have in so far, like from 300 to 400 in like 7 days, which is pretty wild. But for now, everything's going to be free, so you guys are welcome to come watch. So let's see what happens here, guys. Again, so what I was saying, perfect equal highs love to get swept. So like right here, this is a perfect equal high. What could happen here is we could dump first, but I think that this, guys, I think I'm going to lock in one here just in case we reverse. I'll leave it at this high. Let me make sure it's at it. It's just below it, so I'll let that get hit. And then I will Wow, almost hit it by a tick. All right, so I got one there. Okay, guys, so we took the account now up to 314. Let's go. I need to get it to 320. I'm just gonna let the other one run, guys. Hopefully we can literally get this all the way up to 320,000 on this trade. We'll see, but it looks like it's possible. And guys, because of the dump that we had here, I told you guys already in the Discord earlier, so if you guys want to rewind the tape, you can. But there's a few stocks that I'm looking to add pretty heavy here for the long term, for swing trades and stuff. So I just want to see here. If I was to buy 1 and Q, because I want to see where I'm going to be able to book. If I held this all the way up to the equal highs, we're looking at a $7,000 win. So I think, guys, I can get this account up to 320 if I hold all the way up. So I'm not gonna cancel. I'm gonna cancel this order. And yeah, my stop loss is gonna be at this 5-minute low. I'll maybe move it a little bit lower because I'm okay with accepting a $2,500 drawdown here to potentially go and pass this account on one trade. So it's pretty cool. You guys are getting to see a potential a pass on a 300k eval. Let's see if we get it. I'm not saying we will, but my first TP on my cash account, guys, is going to be at this high. Because again, I believe the markets are run on an algorithm and they like to go from liquidity to liquidity. So you can see here in this case, we swept this low all the way back here and we're getting an immediate bullish reaction. We can potentially inverse here. This could be the low for the month. And we could just keep going all the way up to all these highs. So don't be surprised. We do have an hourly fair value gap right here that we have not balanced. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up all the way up here. We have equal highs. Like, I don't often say that we get reversals, but this could be the reversal. Look at the 5-minute, guys. We inverse this beautifully. Technically, if you're in this trade, your stop should be at break even if you entered on this 5-minute candle. But because I entered so low, I have the luxury of holding much lower. So let's say we have like a fake move down to rebalance this 5-minute. I should still be safe. And then if we continue higher from there, then my target's going to be up here. Where did my sell limit go? I don't have it up. So my sell limit is going to be at data highs. I've seen this happen. It's not common, but we sometimes have these full-blown reversals. And if we get that, guys, then you're going to see me pass an account live. But again, this could take hours. So I don't know how long I'm going to be on this live stream, but you guys will see it. By the way, guys, if you're in the stream, please like the stream. It helps other people see it. And if you don't, I've said this before, but you guys are completely dead to me. You're not real traders. And basically, you guys are like gurus to me. You're furus. So guys, I know what's going to probably happen here. I mean, hopefully we get a clean delivery and it just goes. But easily what we can do is chop around. We can hit this high. Then we're probably going to balance this new week opening gap to the downside and then go up to data highs. But I'd love to see this just deliver fast so we can pass this account with little drawdown. But I have a feeling, guys, that we might get the pass. We will see, though. But if you guys rewind the tape, you can see where I longed from. 5-minute inverse after sweeping liquidity. I hope somebody else took it. I know Zach said that he took it, right, on a sim account, but still, that's good. If you're learning, guys, you're learning. I think. So what I think is going to happen here, guys, so there's two scenarios. I'm going to try and teach you guys here. If we are bullish from this point, the markets will do one of two things. Either it's going to just come to the bottom of the 5 or the top of the 5 minute fair value gap from this wick to this wick, and we're going to bounce from there and go higher. Or if it's like a really punishing day, what they can also do, delete this path. Actually, I'll leave it. Another punishing thing they can do is come all the way down to the bottom of this 5 minute, get a manipulation leg, and then go higher. Now, if we're completely not bullish and this is just a stop out shorts, then we'll come up to this high like we did and then just completely continue to deliver down. So basically what I'm doing here is protecting myself, because no matter how good you are at trading or how good you think you are at trading, you can always be wrong. You guys saw me take a losing trade right here. This 1 minute fair value gap, I took it and I lost. Again, would I take this again 10 out of 10 times? Yes. We swept liquidity to the downside. We had a beautiful 1 minute inverse. And not only that, but we closed above on the 2 minute chart, right? The 2 minute inverse right here closed above. And if you look at the 3 minute, we also closed above just by a tick, but we closed above with the body of the candle. So I would take this 10 out of 10 times. Now this one as well, we swept major sell side liquidity. We swept a 5 minute IFEG, swept a 5 minute, swept liquidity, and we closed above a 5 minute fair value gap, making it an inverse fair value gap. So I would take that 10 out of 10 times as well. So I know based on this scenario that, like I showed you guys those pathways that I just drew, either we come all the way down, trade, balance the 5 minute and then go up, or we just completely go up from here. Or if I'm wrong and this is going to be a bearish day, then we're just going to completely reject below my entry. So I have to protect my position. Now, because I want to pass this account, guys, I am moving my stop lower. I think it's possible here that we have a complete reversal on the day. So I'm willing to risk the $2,300 of drawdown that I currently have. Again, I have $6,500 in drawdown on this account, but I'm willing to risk the $2,300 to potentially get another from here. Let me see. Another 5,200. Is that going to pass me the account? I should get really close to passing if we get to this to midnight. So I'm willing to allow that, guys. And then I'll have to take one more trade to get to the 20,000, but we'll see what happens. Because even if I get this stopped out, I'm still going to have close to $4,000 of drawdown that I can use on the account. So I'm happy with that. And if I pass this 300K, that'll be my first 300K. In the past, guys, I've only done 50Ks and 250Ks. I just passed the 250K last week. So I have now, I think, 4 50K accounts, now a 1 250K and a 300K. Before this, guys, I wasn't even trading prop firms. I only traded cash accounts. But especially if you are newer to trading, I think when I first started trading, I mean, I've had good money because I work in real estate. That's where the majority of my money came from. Now, a lot of it comes from the stock market as well. Swing trading, options selling. And then day trading is honestly the smallest amount. It's probably like 20% of my income. I've said that before on stream. I'll be transparent. It's not my main source of income. And if it's yours, unless you're really good, guys, I'd be very hesitant of just having trading as your income. I'll be honest. But where I was going with that is, what was I going with that? I traded with cash accounts, and so I didn't have to worry about trailing drawdown. But I like these. Oh, what I was saying is if you're new to trading, I would definitely suggest starting with prop firms. You will lose much less money. And if you don't have a job, make sure you're getting a job, because when you have this kind of like pressure to make money with trading, it leads you to overtrade. It leads you to click the button too much. And I promise you right now, if I have, so I've always had an ego. Everybody does. But I was the kind of person that was like, oh, I don't need to listen to all these gurus. I can just make money day trading. I'm going to do it. The first 2 years of trading, guys, because I had some money before this, I probably lost close to $15,000 in my personal funds trading the markets. Okay, that's first it was SPY and QQQ. I tried trading calls and puts, like just naked options, which I do not recommend at all, guys. It's terrible. Please don't do that. I promise you will not be profitable. Trading is hard enough. So trying to trade these options like short dated, week out, week expiry, you see all these people making 10,000% gains. Trust me, do not do it. You will get destroyed. It's very hard to trade on its own. So adding that extra factor of time decay from options, recipe for disaster. But yeah, so for the first 2 years of trading, I lost like 15K in my cash accounts. And if I just traded with funded accounts or eval accounts to learn, I would have probably lost a few $100s instead. But instead, I risked my own money. It was depressing, not fun. And eventually, when I became profitable, obviously, it all took care of itself by a lot. But it makes it that much harder to be motivated to trade when let's say you have a $4,000 losing day on a cash account and you're new to trading and you're emotional. Like, it could be bad. Like, I could have lost way more money than $4,000 if you go until all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's $6,000, then $8,000, then $20,000. Like, imagine having a $20,000 loss in one day. I mean, for some people, that's fine. If you're a professional trader, you have a lot of capital. But if you're like a newer trader and you lose 20K in a day because you went on tilt, that's wild. So you have to be super cautious, guys. Prop firms allow you to pay, $19 a month to have an eval account. If you pass it, you pay $85 to turn it into a funded account, and then you have a funded account. And then everything that you risk is their money and not yours. And you can get consistent payouts every single week. And yeah, so. Okay, so let's move in. So this is what I was telling one of my members. His name is Kay. He's actually the guy that just commented. So if you are one of the guys that is entering your longs and you're trying to hold it, so I'll continue with that thought 1 second. Zach Brooks says, what prop firms do you recommend? Personally, I use My Funded Futures and Apex Funded Trading. Those are the two that I use. So I was telling Kay, so the guy that we had a coaching call earlier in the week, and he was explaining to me that when he enters IFEGs, they do really well. He's up, whatever amount for his account size, but he ends up getting smoked and losing the whole thing. So I told him, if you are in that experience, you have to be zooming into the lower time frames and watching what happens. So for example, right now, we did balance this 1 minute fair value gap, okay? And you can see here that we just closed below with a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. So to me, this signifies we're going to this low. It doesn't have to happen, but I am now aware that this is a potential change in market structure. This is a 1 minute IFEG. And if I didn't believe that the market was going to go higher, I would definitely be moving my stops. Again, because I've already taken off 2 of the contracts, I'm letting this one run. I've accepted the risk. But if you are new to trading and you see this 1 minute IFEG, it's a V-shaped rejection. Sometimes it's a V-shaped recovery like we have here. But this, to me, signifies a potential change in trend short term. So this low, this low, this low, this low are potentially coming right now. Are they going to come for sure? I don't know. But basically what I'm trying to say is that you should be looking at the lower time frames to potentially see where the market's going to reverse. So I know that this is a A+ 1 minute short. Well, not A+ because we didn't sweep the buy side, which is right here. I want to see more liquidity get swept. And we're very low in the markets, so I wouldn't take this personally. But it's important to be aware of it. And to know, like, if you're in a trade, you should basically have your stop at this low, your stop to break even. Now, what's probably going to happen here is a reversal, maybe back to the upside. Again, I already took off 2 of the contracts, so I have profits that I've taken on the account, so I'm not worried about this. But if you, for example, are holding and you're looking for home runs, and you see this 1 minute inverse, you have to take some profits, because if we're wrong here, the market's going to completely dump and we're going to get stopped out. Okay. Yeah, so Kay said this is where I lose all the time. So again, guys, I am aware. So if I had not taken any profits, if I saw this candle close right here, I'd take a contract off, guaranteed. But because I've already gotten rid of 2 contracts, I'm willing to accept the risk on the rest of it, because of the potential that this is going to be a full-blown reversal in the day. I told you guys already, I'm using the 5-minute chart for this trade. The market likes to cause max pain. So what could happen here is we come back and rebalance this 5-minute fair value gap, and then we go higher. That's possible. If I'm wrong, then this 5 minutes completely going to get smoked and my stop loss is going to hit. Do I care? Absolutely not, because I've taken off 2 contracts. I don't mind the loss, because the potential reward here is much greater. So I hope that makes sense, guys. But I literally just talked about this in my coaching call with Kay. If we get a bearish candle like this and you're looking for a home run, immediately when you see this get closed below, you should be taking some partials. Now, we did have a tiny 1 minute right here, but I know for a fact that if this is going to be bearish, this is a rejection right here. This is where the market's going to deliver us all the way back down to sell side. But again, because I've taken off 2 contracts, I'm willing to accept the risk on this trade and the potential that we're going to go much higher. So always, guys, look at the lower time frames and use them to help you make decisions. So Kay knows that if he didn't take off any and he's looking for home runs, he would have to immediately sell 1 contract here. But you can see here, so far, a bullish reaction. I'd love to see us close back above this 1 minute. And that would, to me, give me confirmation that we're probably going to continue higher. Now, until this happens, I don't know what's going to happen here, right? I'm not a fortune teller. All I can do, guys, is get an A+ entry, which in this case was on the 5 minute. This was A+ to me. That's why I took it with 3 contracts. And yeah, we just get to sit. It's a free trade now. I don't have to be this crazy guru that tells you, oh, at 11:01 a.m. there's going to be a perfect reversal, like these people that try and convince you that they're basically market makers and they know exactly what's going to happen in the market. They're liars. I'm telling you right now, nobody knows. Even ICT, the quote-unquote best trader out there who hasn't proved himself, but I use his concepts because they work, as you can see right here on the screen. Even he doesn't know exactly where the markets are going to reverse, what is exactly going to happen. All you can do is get a great entry with a great risk to reward and move your stops accordingly. That's all you can do in the market. Anyone who tells you otherwise is a complete liar and a degenerate, and they're trying to get something out of you. So, hope that clicks for some of you guys. Like, if you guys know about that guy Romeo on X, biggest scam artist I think in existence. He trades the turtle soup, which is a decent model. But you have to be super careful because he tries to pretend like he knows everything. Like every second the market's going to do this, that, blah, blah, blah. He's a liar. So we did just sweep a little bit of liquidity here to the downside. Basically what I want to see here, okay, I'm going to get rid of this 5 minute. And I'm going to put this 5 minute on the chart. Okay. Because right now what's looking likely is that we are coming down to balance this 5 minute. Is it going to go all the way down there? Maybe. I don't know for sure. But basically the final line in the sand for me, I want to see an immediate bullish reaction out of this 5 minute. I don't want to see it come much lower. Maybe give it a few ticks below the 5 minute and then an immediate bullish reaction. If we don't get the immediate bullish reaction, then this is probably going to dump much further than it has already. If I'm correct, and this is the start of an intraday buy model, then we could basically be sweeping this low and then go higher. We can come into the 5 minute, and I want to see an immediate and strong bullish reaction to the upside. That's going to give me the signal that we're going to go much higher. I also like the fact that we didn't sweep this high yet or this high, and we're getting a dump because there's potential that now we're going to have a much stronger reaction to these two internal highs. Now, the best thing, honestly, here would have been a complete lack of respect of these highs and a complete push up to then go higher. But we'll see what happens here. You guys can see this is where I'm looking for market structure to change to the upside now. Okay, here's a moment of truth, guys. So you can see there's no emotion. Yes, I was up $3,000. Am I up at $1,000 now? Okay, it's fine. Again, I accepted the risk beforehand. I would love to see it tap into this with maybe a tick or so and then an immediate push. Oh, but yeah. So I told you guys the market does like to cause max pain a lot of the time. And this is where max pain tends to happen. Everybody who was chasing this long, they're like, oh, change in market structure, let's go long. They get dumped on. A lot of people have their stop somewhere in here. So like anywhere in these order blocks. Let me see the 3-minute chart. So a lot of people had their stop below the 3-minute OB. There is a 3-minute fair value gap here that we could potentially come down to as well. But yeah, I think if this is bullish, guys, the market is just really trying to stop out longs before getting the continuation higher. Still no entry. Still no trade into the 5-minute. So what I'm really hoping it doesn't happen here is that we completely wick and stop me out. Do you guys, I think I'm going to move my stop all the way down. Just in case we get a wick here. And yeah, so I'm basically risking, I said it already, I'm risking the whole profits. But now I'm going to risk basically the whole thing, just in case we get the 5-minute wick. Okay, so basically I need to see an immediate reaction from right here. This has got to be the low. We went, so we missed it by 1 tick. So maybe what we'll do here is trade up into here and then get a dump right below this wick and then an immediate bullish reaction. But if not, guys, then I'm happy to get stopped out here. So we just completely filled the 5-minute. So if we are bullish, this is where we need to react from. If not, I'm going to get stopped out on the trade. Again, I'm not a fortune teller. All I can do is get the best entry I can. I already took 2 of the contracts off, so I'm out. What is that? 2/3 of the position, whatever that percentage is. And now we just wait. So I'm guessing if we're gonna get a low, it's probably gonna be like somewhere in this candle's body, or somewhere in this candle's wick. Should be the low, if it's gonna be the low. All right, so doesn't look good, guys. Think I'll probably get stopped out here, but let's see. If this ends up being the low, I'm gonna laugh so hard. So you guys can see here, I'm looking at the QQQ chart as well. So I'd love to see the reaction from right here, if it's gonna happen. and then a complete push to the upside. If you guys are watching me time the bottom like this, that's wild. All right, so I'm moving my stop, guys, right now to this wicks low, because I think if we're at the lows, this is going to be it. If not, I'm going to get smoked, so. If this ends up being the top, I'm going to laugh so hard. I mean the bottom, sorry. Crazy. Look at that reaction, guys. Right. Again, it could just it could completely collapse from here, but this could be the bottom right here on this wick. Could be. Again, could be. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not saying to long this because I don't know for sure. But if we are bullish for the rest of the day, this should be where the low forms. We got 2 more minutes until the 5-minute close. So 1 more minute until the close, guys. You can see we wicked below the 5 like I said we possibly would, which stops out a lot of traders who had their entry maybe on this 5-minute IFEG. And if we are truly bullish, then this should be the low. If not, I'm going to get stopped out and I'm okay with it. And it looks like I'm going to get stopped out, guys. Let's see. No way this holds, bro. No way it holds. All right, so we got the 5-minute close below, guys. It's probably going to get stopped out on the trade unless I get super lucky, but I'm guessing this is going to be a it's basically a free trade, but still it's a stop to break even on the third contract. But if they miraculously hold this, that's going to be wild. Just imagine. Also, what they could do, guys, is come back, sweep this low by a tick, which I've seen happen so many times. I've gotten stopped out on trades like that before, and then the long happens afterwards. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to move my stop 2 ticks below this. So 1, 2, right here. Just in case we get that last sweep of this low and then the reaction. Guys, if this ends up being a low. Let's see. Guys, am I the market furu? Am I the guru of the markets? Let's see. This is going to determine whether I'm the guru of the markets. Let's say we get a sweep below this by 2 ticks and I don't get stopped out. I'm going to change my name to the market furu. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. What do you guys think? Type 1 if you think this is the low. What you are doing is invaluable to people learning. Watching you do this live has been worth every second. Thank you for giving us your time. Of course, bro. That warms my heart to hear you guys say that. All right, so I got stopped out on the third runner, guys. If this ends up being the low, I'm going to laugh so hard, but I am so happy to see that people are learning from this. It really warms my heart because I wish I had somebody that could teach me like this when I was starting. All the different things I did to try and be profitable. And all you really need, guys, I swear, all you really need is a liquidity sweep and a 5-minute inverse. I literally make YouTube shorts on this all the time. Liquidity sweep, 5-minute inverse ends up being an A+ long. Yes, I got stopped out on the third trade for a break even, but I booked like $4,000 at least on that. So I don't care. Like, you guys have to. It's not just IFEGs. It's psychology too. You guys have to really know what you're doing, and have the right mindset going into it. But I'm telling you, it's so good to see that people are learning and they appreciate IFEGs and liquidity and stuff. So guys, now what we can basically see from here, we did close below the 5, and like I told you guys, so look at this 1-minute inverse, okay? I told you guys live in real time that because this candle closed below with the body like this, that we were very likely to go to this low, this low, this low, this low, and probably rebalance the 5, and we're getting that now. Could this be the low now, and I got stopped out? Yes, but I don't care, guys. Like, I don't care. It's part of the game. So we're up, what, 311,000 in this account? Great. I have 9,000 left to pass it. And there should be a really nice setup at some point to get it. But I'm going to be patient and wait. And, yeah, let the odds play out. Sorry for that voice crack. So, guys, it looks like I may have been stopped out and that this is potentially the low. Again, am I going to chase this now? Is there a setup? Absolutely not. So I'm not going to chase it. But it's just the name of the game, guys. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes the market runs without you. But if you can have the discipline to get stopped out, not get emotional, not start taking all these random setups because you want to, trust me, you'll be more profitable. This could be the low. This could also be a consolidation move to go lower. And we could come down and sweep all this liquidity. So, yeah. Just the name of the game. I think, guys, we still have some time. I'll probably stay on for another 45 minutes, give or take, and see if we can get something else. But I'm probably going to be done on this account. That was I have 2 trades on this account, so I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't think I'm going to take anything else. I never take, on average, I'm taking 1.5 trades, and that's what my data shows. So after taking 2 trades, normally I stop, especially if it's 2 losses. But because we had a loss and a win, and the loss was much smaller than the win, if something is so good that I can't deny it, I'll take it. But the odds of that happening now are slim to none. So we will see. Also, guys, once I get off the live stream, for those of you who are new to the Discord or want to join, I do call live alerts in the live alerts section. So if I'm not live streaming, I will call them there for you guys to take if you would like to. Again, I do like to call stuff out, but if you guys don't understand IFEGs, do not take those setups because you need to have conviction and you have to understand what you're doing. Sometimes I move my stop to break even so quickly, and like all these little technicalities like this, you need to be aware of what is A+, what is not, why you should take stuff off, why you shouldn't. Don't just take a setup because for example, on this setup that I called, where was it? So like this, I think this was a 3-minute setup that we called right here, and this was obviously a stop to break even at this high. There are so many technicalities here, like move your stop to break even, watch for 1-minute IFEGs, look for order blocks. There's so many different things. Make sure that you're paying attention to the new week opening gap in case we get a rejection. So many things that can potentially go wrong and so many different details that I'm not going to be typing out on those live alerts. So you guys need to be educated enough to be able to take those on your own and have the conviction and the knowing of when to close trades, when to hold them, when to size down, when to size up, when to move your stops. And all that comes with experience. And I want to teach you guys that. And I do have alerts that you guys can take, but I want you to understand that you need to be aware, because if you're not, you can get smoked. Like I just explained to you guys, I'm not live here telling you that this woman at IFEG will probably bring us back down, and that if you haven't taken any profits, to book some on this candle. So things like that, guys. I hope that makes sense. And also, guys, so the last thing that could happen here, if we are actually bullish now, we could get an immediate bullish reaction from this 5 and then go up. But nothing else that I see here is really A+. We do have, so like let's say we get a bullish reaction from here, and then this 5-minute inverses to the upside, this tiny one. I don't like this as much. This is a very small 5-minute fair value gap. And yeah, so I don't like this nearly as much as I liked this 5-minute and then this 5-minute. So the only other thing I think, guys, that I will take today, if we get a balance of this new week opening gap, and if we end up sweeping this liquidity right here, I'll look for another long. But until then, oh, I have to get rid of my sell limit. Whoops. Until then, there's nothing for me. If we left equal highs up here, like I told you guys already, algorithmically, the market loves to leave equal highs, and if it does, those are like a very strong magnet for price. If we left equal highs here, for example, I'd be a lot more keen to take longs from this area. But because we didn't leave any equal highs, we've got a strong rejection, you have to be super careful. Let me look at end phase quick. AMD is selling off. So guys, for the and also in the live stream, I mean in the Discord, we don't just do live day trading. We do long-term stock portfolio ads, option selling, and then swing trading. So I will tell you guys right now, one of the long-term stocks that I'm adding in heavy discount right now is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. They do semiconductors. We are down right now almost 50% from highs. So if you're adding in this monthly fair value gap, which I think is a good long-term add, good risk to reward, you're looking at a 100% return back to highs. So basically anything you're adding from this zone potentially is a double on your money. Again, you have to do your own due diligence, make sure you understand what this company does, look at their financials, but I think that they're a great add for the long term. So did we trade into the 5? Wow, so we did trade into this 5-minute, and we are getting a pretty bullish reaction from here. If you guys have not taken anything on the day, okay? It depends on where you're at, right? I've already taken 2 trades. I have a win, I have a small loss. If you are taking something, if you haven't taken anything yet, and this 5-minute inverses, I would give this a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. And I would move my stop to break even at this 5-minute fair value gap. And then I would just leave runners to go higher. Because if we were actually bullish here, then this is going to be a great reaction. So watch to see what happens on this 5-minute candle. Closes in 3 minutes, so we'll see. if we get too strong, like if we get one 5-minute candle that closes above both of these fair value gaps too, I think that's a great long. But it's not as good. It's definitely not as good as this 5-minute because we've already rebalanced a lot of buy side liquidity here. So I'm just letting you guys know, anything now long is lower probability than it was on this leg. I do like that we are bouncing out of the 5-minute here. But that doesn't mean that we're just going to blindly long, right? Because what could be happening here? So there's two different scenarios that I see. Number one, ooh, Bank of America says the Fed is done cutting rates and no longer expects any more cuts. Okay, I don't care about that. So the pathway I see here, so what happens in this scenario is like we get this chop. We try and generate people to go long and then they just dump the market. That's one scenario. Number two is we trade into the 5-minute like we just did, immediate bullish reaction, and then we continue higher. And yeah, that's pretty much the only scenarios I see. Damn. Okay, guys, I'm getting some emails that I have to take care of, so I'm gonna probably leave the stream now. If I see anything, again, guys, make sure if you're new to the Discord, the live alert section is where I will call alerts out. But make sure, again, if you have questions, ask me, send me a DM on Discord. But I wish you guys the best. I appreciate you guys joining the stream. Make sure you like it if you haven't. Subscribe if you guys want to see me live stream most days. And yeah, I wish you guys the best. I hope you learned. And yeah, we'll take it to the trading floor. But I wish you guys the best and peace out.